There's a guy named Zach who likes to hike. Do you want to go on an adventure with him? It's Hiking Zach.
Sound the alarm, I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough. I wanna live right now. Baby, I'm as young as the night. I wanna dance right now. On the floor, I feel so alive. Don't stop, turn it up. 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 Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We're going hard. Pour some more into my cup. Sparkling star. Crystal glitter all over. Get in my car. Let's go to my favorite club. Rich like a queen. All my clothes are designer. Life is a dream. Don't wanna wake up from her. Strawberry cream. My lips taste just like sugar. Come here to me. You look like an amateur. I wanna live right now. Baby, I'm as young as the night.
Howdy guys, my name is Zach and I am going to be through hiking the Appalachian Trail this year. So I'm going to be posting videos from this account. The previous part about my preparation for the hike was obviously a little bit tongue-in-cheek. So I'm going to show you today how I'm actually preparing for the hike. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about myself, my story, answer some questions that I've seen most commonly asked. And yeah, I'm going to take y'all on my average daily hike that I like to do here in Atlanta, where I live. I'm at a place called Stone Mountain. This is my training ground, essentially. This is where I've been coming to hike pretty much every day for the last 3 years. So I'll get into my story in a second, but this trail is about a mile to the top and then a mile back down. It gets pretty steep at times, but for the most part, it's pretty manageable. It's really nice, it's pretty. It's got a lot of variation. And it's also got like a lot of cool rock structures and sections. I'm actually taking you on a different trail right now than the main trail. This is a side trail. There's just a lot fewer people over here. Just easier with filming and stuff. So, but yeah, this is Stone Mountain. So, like I mentioned before, I have been doing this trail pretty much every single day for the last 3 years. Pretty much since like the initial COVID restrictions loosened and the park opened back up. So May of 2020. The park is really nice. It's not too far from my house. And then the reason I started hiking is a little bit about my background is that I previously was pretty obese. I had a lot of weight gain throughout college. I was binge eating. I was going through pretty intense depression at the time, and unfortunately college was not kind to me physically. So I put on a lot of weight, about 200 pounds throughout college, and then for the years following. So then in 2020, I decided I need to make a change. I need to get back to nature, which is something that I was really interested in growing up. I really enjoyed walking in the woods, playing with my friends, going on, imaginary journeys through the ponds and creeks and woods. And that was something that I kind of got away from in my teen years in college. So I went on a hike. I went on a hike here actually, and I liked it. It was enjoyable. It was really tough. I was 400 pounds. I was not physically in a good place to start doing this kind of stuff. But I powered through. Took me about an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes to get to the top. And I did it again the next day. And then the next day. And so on and so forth. Until today, I am 185 pounds. So I lost about 215 pounds in the last 3 years. And it was all through hiking. Well, I did diet a little bit, but a lot of my issues were mental health based. I think my mental health wasn't in a good spot. And I think hiking helped that more than anything. And once that was sorted out, it was a lot easier to diet. So while it was probably 50-50 diet and exercise, the hiking really pulled its weight in terms of my overall health, because it really had a really positive impact on my mental health, which is just something that's invaluable. We only get one life, and we need to make sure we're living it in a way that makes us happy. And that wasn't something that I was doing. And finding my love for hiking and backpacking and being outdoors has been really awesome. So, anyway, I digress. So yeah, that brings us to the Appalachian Trail. Why am I doing it? What inspired me to do it? What are my details, etc. So, I got interested in the Appalachian Trail in 2021. I was on a backpacking trip around Stanley Indian, Mount Albert. It was the first time I ever went backpacking, and I was probably 100 pounds down at that point. I went backpacking for the first time, and I loved it. It was really tough. I think my pack probably weighed 50 pounds at the time, maybe 45 pounds, and I was ill prepared. But still, a whole weekend to go about 20 miles on that loop we did there, for a pretty solid beginner's loop for sure. And we met this guy there who had thru-hiked the trail 2015, 2016, and he was telling us about how his experience on the trail really changed his life, and he had kind of gone through a dark moment in his life, and he lost someone very close to him, and he just decided, I'm going to do this trail. He had heard about it from one of his friends, and he just did it, and it shaped him in such a positive way. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. Like, I had years of trauma just in terms of hating myself, hating my the way I looked, having just huge amounts of self-doubt, and just really, bad times personally. And when I was able to come out of that, I started looking for that next thing to kind of get back into a groove, and the Appalachian Trail sounded something that would be really cool for that. So I started researching it, thinking about it, saving, and kind of set my sights on 2023. It was kind of, I was thinking, maybe I'm not going to be ready to do it in 2022. I was still pretty heavy at the time, and I wanted more time to train. And at the time, wasn't sure about money and stuff like that. So we just kept saving. And then 2023, here it is. And I am ready to go. So I work for a tech company, tech startup, and they're going to give me a leave of absence. So got 5 months off to do the trail, which I'm very, very grateful for. And I love my company for it. But still won't be getting paid or anything like that over that time. Won't have health care. So definitely need to be stingy with finances. And yeah, I'm definitely not in a normal thru-hiker in terms of my background. So most people obviously do it in their retirement years or their right after college. And I'm kind of mid-career. I'm 28, almost 29. And I work in human resources, work in the corporate field. And, you know, I'm kind of taking a big risk, stepping away from my company for 5 months. Like, this could be something that potentially impacts my career, but that's how passionate I am about doing this. That's how strongly I feel about accomplishing this this dream of mine of doing the trail. And, you know, I'm just really excited. It's going to be tough. And, you know, when I come out here to hike, I am honestly, you know, the physical exercise is great, but I mean, you can't truly prepare yourself physically for 2,200 miles. So mainly I'm out here to mentally prepare. You know, this is really pretty, especially at golden hour. The light kind of sneaks through the trees, and it just gives me a really good opportunity to reflect, think about my life, you know, where I've come, think about where I want to go, and just kind of put everything in context and prepare to be away from my life for 5 months. You know, thru-hiking is somewhat of a selfish endeavor for someone in my shoes, you know, someone with a wife, and I have 2 dogs, and that's honestly one of the hardest things. The things I felt most guilty about is leaving my 2 dogs, because, you know, they only get so many years on Earth with them, and, you know, then they unfortunately leave us, and I'm spending, you know, 5 months away. That's a big portion of their lives, and that's just a bummer. So just a lot to think about, and just mentally preparing myself for the battle that it's going to be. And it's going to be tough. I think that's going to be the hardest part. I think physically it won't be that bad compared to the mental aspect of it. So, but yeah. Anyway, we're nearing the top of this section. We're about to rejoin the Maine trail, and then we're going to go up to the very top. There's going to be a cool view of the skyline up there. Check time. Oops. Nice. So, like I mentioned previously, it took me about 90 minutes to do this. Maybe like 75, 80 minutes when I first came up. I didn't time it, but we're about 4/10 of a mile from the top now.
I found this on the web.
Shut up. And we're at 12 minutes, so pacing pretty solid right now. Typically do this in about 18 minutes, which is what I kind of aim for. Cool view over here, looking north towards the Appalachian Mountains right over there. Springer Mountains somewhere over there. I'll be there in just over 2.5 weeks. So starting to get excited. Like I mentioned before, you know, my story, my background. If you want to learn more about it, I've written up an extensive version of it on my personal YouTube page. You can find the link there, so I'll link that right now. This is the steep part. 42% grade. But cool view of the city of Atlanta. We'll look at that in a second once we're at the top. Thru-Hike. I'm leaving May 1st, which I know for what I'm doing, which is northbound from Springer, that's pretty late, but I'm a pretty solid hiker. I hike decently fast. I don't want to be away from my wife for too long, so I don't intend to slow play it by any means. So I think I can do it in 5 months, which is going to be kind of what I'm aiming for. Which will be, right around October, if not faster. So AWOL, which is, if you haven't read his book, AWOL's Guide to the Appalachian Trail, or AWOL on the Appalachian Trail. It's a really good book, and he did it I think he started like April 26th or something, and he did it, and he finished pretty easily. So timeline, I'm not too worried about it. I know it's going to be hot, I know it's going to suck, but yeah, May 1st. And the reason I'm doing May 1st is because two reasons. One, my sister's getting married the week before I leave, so I have to be there for that. And two, I'm going to the Taylor Swift concert in Atlanta the day before I leave for my Thru-Hike. So that's going to be a really weird finish to, to being in society. I'm also gonna have to hop off trail for a few days in the middle of my Thru-Hike for a wedding, which is gonna be a logistical nightmare, but another wedding that I'm going to right in the middle of my hike that I kind of have to go to. So I'll be off trail for about a week right in the middle. So my timeline's gonna be pretty crunched, but I'm not too worried about it. I can always flip-flop if I have to and kind of go up to Katahdin and come down, but I really don't want to have to do that. I really want to finish with that classic, Mount Katahdin finish. So anyway, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that everyone watches my vlogs this year. I hope they're enjoyable. I'm going to try and bring some fun, some energy to my Thru-Hikes. Sorry if this is a little bit choppy. This is my first, real blog, so hopefully something I'll learn and get better at. But if you have any suggestions on things you want to see in my vlog, I'm open to try anything. I don't really have an idea of what a traditional blog or traditional vlog should be. So I'm down to experiment. I'm down to do whatever. So any kind of things you want to learn about, any things that you're curious about, any things you want to see along the trail, I am 100% open to it. So just let me know in the comments what y'all want to see, what y'all are interested in, and I'm happy to make it happen. Like I mentioned, I'm also going to be posting from my personal channel a little bit more often, but in a different context. That one's going to be more focused on my personal, how it ties into my personal journey with the whole weight loss thing. So that one's going to be more weight loss focused, and then this one for the trek is going to be just about the trail. I'm not going to really get into the weight loss aspect beyond, maybe just touching on it here and there. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram, and love you guys. All right, see y'all on the trail. Happy hiking. Hike your own hike. Signing off. Auf Wiedersehen. Happy trails.